Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Great Day Houston. Okay, question. So, ladies, how many times did you wake up last night suddenly boiling hot and not in a good way? Has turning down the thermostat earned you the nickname Elsa from Frozen? And do you cry simply because a contestant won the grocery store game on The Price is Right? All right, we've got problems. Hot flashes, mood swings, and sleepless nights might mean you are entering or are already in this thing called menopause. Symptoms can range from mild to downright debilitating. Dr. Miyako Rowley is a board-certified doctor with KALE Functional Medicine who created the Menopause Mentor course. She joins us this morning with her patient, Colleen McKnight, who says Dr. Rowley brought her literally back to life. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, when she says brought you back to life, that is not an understatement for you.
No, ma'am, it is not. I was legitimately dying when I went to go see Dr. Rowley.
Oh, when I said, debilitating, I know a lot of people in the household, when someone's going through menopause, feels like it's debilitating for them, but you literally felt like it was debilitating for you. All right, I'm going to back up. Dr. Rowley, your first career was in finance.
That's right.
What made you completely switch? Because you say that it was a corporate finance job, which a lot of people would say, great job. What made you decide to switch to medicine?
I didn't feel like I really had a connection to the impact that I was making. I was running spreadsheets and, just doing something for a large corporation. I wanted to feel connected to what I was doing and feel purpose.
Yeah, and speaking of purpose, on a personal side, you had a health scare that got you more interested in how you deal with your own health.
Exactly. After I made the decision to switch careers into medicine, about 3 weeks before I started medical school, I was diagnosed with MS, which is an autoimmune neurological disorder that promised to take everything away that I had been working for years to get into a new career. So eventually I found functional medicine while in medical school and knew right away that was my purpose-driven path.
We're hearing this thing called functional medicine again, which some of my older doctor friends would argue is the way medicine was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Right, before it became something else. So explain to people who might not be familiar with that, when you say that word functional medicine, how that changes the way you practice maybe compared to others.
Right, it's a method of finding the root cause of what's going on. So we're looking at how the body should function and then treating that instead of only treating symptoms and assigning medications to symptoms.
Yeah, because the tough thing about us as patients, if we make the symptoms go away, a lot of us pretend that, okay, the problem went away. But we were talking before the show, it's almost like if you have a smoke detector in your house and you take the batteries out, you say, see, the house is not on fire, the alarm's not going off. Well, medicines can make you feel like the alarm's not going off, but the body knows better. Yes. You talk about getting to the root cause, so that means you look at other things, genetics, your environment, your lifestyle, all the things that may be leading to what you're suffering from.
Exactly. So we do specialty testing to get more insights than we usually have in the conventional side. But we also do the conventional testing as well, and we meet the two together to give the best of both worlds to our patients.
Yeah, all right. So KALE's been around for quite some time, since 1983 as the Center for Health and Healing, but is recently renamed to KALE Functional Medicine. So I want to get that out there in case somebody's looking for that. But you offer those tests, the biometrics, the health coaching, the nutrition, all of those things. Comprehensive root cause analysis, as you talked about. Also, when you say those things, it also says that you're doing personalized medicine, so it's not a one-size-fits-all for anybody.
That's right. There's no algorithm for functional medicine. We listen to the patient, typically spend an hour in the first visit, and then decide together what's best for that particular patient, and then proceed to help make everything better.
All right, I'm gonna get to what I started with, that thing called menopause, which is kind of one of the biggest shifts in hormones in a woman's life, and some men too, andropause for men, but since puberty, right? And oftentimes can happen after pregnancy, during pregnancy, and for you were dealing with fertility issues for several years, so your body had gone through some things.
Yes, we struggled for 5 years of infertility, tried everything, ultimately got my beautiful babies through IVF, but it was a long, hard road for my body. I'm the CEO and founder of a law firm, so I was doing, high-end stress work, and one day woke up and had a really hard time getting out of bed.
Yeah, here's the thing. When you say that, now you've given everyone an excuse to say, okay, of course you're exhausted. You just had babies. Of course you're exhausted. You have a law firm, right? And so it could easily be excused away. But what was her body going through? We talk about the mood swings and stuff like that, or not mood swings, but the hormonal shifts, which can happen to any woman during menopause. And maybe I should just back up and say, what is menopause?
Right. Well, menopause technically is 12 months of no periods, but there is a period of time that lasts 7 7 to 10 years before that, leading up to menopause, called perimenopause. And so that is a place where a lot of women arrive, like Colleen, who are told by their conventional doctors that they're too young for this.
Yeah.
But during that time, it's critical that we start treating, because what we're doing is not just treating symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats and weight gain and irritability, but we're setting them up for more longevity in the future, because we're protecting their brain, their heart, and their bones. That's the priority.
All right, yeah, Mother Nature may be through with us and having babies, but you can't be through with us yet in life, right? Okay, so you mentioned not being able to get out of bed, but what were the other things that you were dealing with when you say, I was literally dying? Because a lot of people can say, yeah, there are times I didn't feel like getting out of bed either.
Yes. So in 2022, I had my son, my second, in October of 21. If you put together every day I was well that year, it was less than 6 weeks.
Oh, wow. I
went to allergists, I went to conventional doctors. They kept telling me, well, of course you're tired, you have a baby. I said, he's sleeping through the night, this isn't him.
Yeah.
I don't have any energy, I'm completely fatigued. And eventually when the allergy testing said, no, it's not allergies, and the regular doctors, a dear friend of mine said, I think you need to go see Dr. Rowley.
Yeah.
And so I went in and explained to her, and she said, you're not crazy.
How did that feel? Because, by the way, I have shared this story on the show since I started doing this show, because I was right in the midst of it also after having my son. Weight gain, couldn't sleep through the night, depressed. I'm not a depressed person. I had no energy. That never happens with me, right? All these things. And I had a doctor actually look at me and said, well, you were old when you had a baby. What do you expect, right? And I was like, no, something changed in my body. And they were willing to medicate everything, all my symptoms. And I thought, can I get a prescription for a liver as well? Because all that medicine is going to go through my liver. But a lot of us as patients, again, if we get the symptoms taken care of, we're fine, but we're not really fine. So for you to have somebody say to you, you're not crazy.
Right.
There's a reason why this is happening.
Yes, and to spend an hour with me and hear me when I talk, not just say, okay, great, yeah, we know that's a functional pain or that's this, but to say, okay, let's work together. You're telling me you have no energy. You're telling me you can't lose the weight. You're telling me that you are sick constantly. My immune system had thrown in the towel. I'm trying to raise 2 small kids, and to have that long appointment and somebody who would collaborate with me and not write me off was huge.
Yeah, because hormones play such a huge role in the body. I think we dismiss them sometimes, and we also think of them as just being progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, and maybe thyroid, but there's a lot of hormones that are in play here. You look at the balance. This is not about just taking hormones, is it in balance? Is the body in what we call homeostasis, right?
Right. Balance is important, but we also need to realize that we have hormone receptors head to toe. And so even blurry vision can be caused by perimenopause, because the hormones that we're feeding into those receptors in the eyes, for example, get low, and then you have symptoms. So a lot of people don't realize all of the things that are affected by perimenopause and menopause.
So when you finally looked at her and had all the information in front of you, which is the key point, as we mentioned, doing all those tests, even like food allergies, right? Doing all that, when you looked at it, what did you see?
I saw that hormone balance and a little bit of small lifestyle changes would make all the difference.
Wow. And how do you feel today?
Oh my goodness, I feel so great, Brenda. I have to tell you, I turned 40 this summer, and people keep asking me, how does 40 feel? And I say, oh, a heck of a lot better than 37 did. Because at that point, it was like, I'm chubby, I'm old, I'm tired, just put me out to pasture.
Oh gosh.
You know, and I'm 37, but I had no energy. And now it's like, I'm running a business, I'm raising my kids, I've come back to life, I feel good, I feel like I look good. You know, it's like, I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I don't even remember 40, but anyway, good for you, right? No. But once I turned that corner as well, I felt so much better. You have a Menopause Mentor course, because this is one of those things that women do not even have a clue about it until it slaps them across the face. Because we're like, out of sight, out of mind, not my life right now. And then all of a sudden, what is happening to me? I had someone call me last week who is 65 who said, why am I having hot flashes all of a sudden? Why is all this? It can go on for a while because the imbalance is still there.
Exactly. a third of a woman's life, and now even up to a half of a woman's life, is spent in perimenopause and menopause. So it's a significant portion of our lives and something that we have to take seriously because we're living longer than we ever have before. And so we're having more issues when we get to our 80s and 90s that could have been prevented in our 40s and 50s with proper hormone balance.
Yeah, all right. Tell us about the Menopause Mentor course, what people can learn there.
Yeah, so I broke down some very easy to follow steps that guide patients, or actually just anybody, you don't have to be a patient to do the course, as to what to look for, what to ask for, how to advocate for yourself, what the heck is going on with your body. When we're teenagers, we get books and courses that are designed to help teach us what's going on with our hormones and our changing bodies, but on the other end, we don't have that guidance. So I created the course that I wished existed.
All right. And by the way, I just want to point out there that you treat a wide range of health concerns and you treat all kinds of patients. So autoimmune conditions, thyroid disorders, gut health and digestive disorders, and you treat men as well. And your critical windows like the 40s, 50s, when we call it mid-age, when we go crazy and start buying red sports cars, but to make up for it. But during that midlife period is when the body has some big shifts. And so that's one of the things that you look at so that we can live the next phase of our life happy and healthy. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right, get your phone out and point the camera to the QR code on the screen. It takes you right to the website with all the details to help master your menopause journey. KALE Functional Medicine has a special offer for Great Day viewers. Now through October 31st, you can use promo code GDH50, GDH50 to get 50% off the Menopause Mentor course. To learn more, you can also visit kalemd.com, kalemd.com, or call this number 713-660-6620. Again, that number is 713-660-6620.